Let's talk about decluttering. You know, that magical idea that's supposed to leave your home looking like a Pinterest board and your brain feeling like you just spent a day at a spa. But here's the thing, decluttering often comes with a heaping side of guilt. Because somewhere along the way, we've convinced ourselves that all of our stuff has some kind of intrinsic value. But it doesn't. At least not all of it. Welcome back to Rebel with a Plan. I'm Dakota Rebel, your friendly guide through the chaos of life and all things ADHD. If you've ever stared at a BlackBerry charger thinking, but I might need this someday, this video's for you. Because today we're talking about how to declutter without all the guilt. I'll share tips and tricks and bad jokes and hold your hand through the process of starting to let go. We all have a tendency to assign an original price tag to everything we've ever purchased. If this kitchen gadget cost $100 when we bought it, in our heads it will always be worth $100. Even if it's been sitting in a drawer collecting dust since the first time you tried to use it and realized you hated it. But here's the truth. Just like a brand new car loses value the minute you take it off a lot, your stuff depreciates the second it stops being useful to you. And let's be real, it was never about the money. It was about the emotion that spending that money caused inside of you. Think about it. The joy of buying something new, that dopamine hit of shiny, the guilt of never using it again, instant shame hangover. And yet, here we are, treating every purchase as if it's some magical thing that is going to fix our life. But it's not. Especially if it's going to end up in a drawer only to be seen again when you're rifling through and you push it aside looking for something else. Here's something I need you to get through your thick skull. You are not a museum curator. You don't have to turn your home into a tribute to the ghosts of bad financial decisions past or to the deceased. That sweater that your aunt gave you that still has the tags on it because it's not even your color, throwing it away doesn't mean that you love her any less. And that creepy ass porcelain doll that belonged to your grandmother that your mom made you take home after the funeral, your grandma didn't even like that thing. And you're not honoring her memory by keeping it shoved in the back corner of a closet. Decluttering isn't about throwing away memories, disrespecting the people who gave things to you. It's about making your space a place where you can actually live. When it comes to deciding what stays and what goes, I have a couple helpful questions that you can ask. And no, it's not Marie Kondo, does this spark joy? Which, while that's helpful in its own way, it's not always going to get to the nitty-gritty, because I tell you what, every book I own brings me joy. So the first real life question I want you to ask yourself is, do I want this or do I want to want this? A lot of us keep things because we like the idea of them. That yoga mat that you've had for 2 years and you've never even unrolled it, you don't like yoga. You like the idea of being someone who does yoga. And it's okay if you're not that person. And it's okay to let it go. Question number 2, if someone shit on this, what would I do? I realize this one is crude, but it's also very effective. If something was ruined beyond repair, think about what you would do. Would you clean it off and treasure it forever? Would you replace it immediately because you really can't live without it? Or would you shrug and toss it and move on with your life? If it's the last one, Elsa, let it go. Question number 3 is this something to love or is it just one more thing to take care of? Here we hit the spark joy kind of moment. Does this thing make you happy or is it something else that you have to dust every time you clean your living room? It's important that we be honest with ourselves because the lying is what brings on the guilt. And if questions don't work, you can try repeating a mantra to yourself while you're letting things go. Things like, this is my home, it is not a storage unit. Releasing this item doesn't mean letting go of the memory. Letting go isn't failure, it's freedom. If I don't use it or love it, it's just clutter. Listen, mantras might feel a little woo-woo, but professional athletes repeat mantras to themselves to help them succeed. So maybe just give it a try, even if you think you might feel a little silly at first. I want to take a minute to talk about the items that probably brought you to my channel in the first place. That sneaky clutter that builds up when you're part of the planner community. Oh, I see you, with the stacks of unused sticker books and the drawer full of Post-it notes and more washi tape than anyone could possibly ever use in a lifetime. I see you because I am you. So let's talk about it. Planner supplies are like potato chips. You can't have just one. You tell yourself it's an investment in productivity. You believe that this planner, this time, is going to be the thing that makes the difference. Meanwhile, the only thing that has ever worked for your brain is a 2-year-old scratch pad you stole from a hotel, and you just need a messy get your shit together list every single day. Here again, we need to remind ourselves to not keep things that remind us of who we want to be. We need to accept who we actually are and lean into it, because who we actually are is pretty damn great. The first step to decluttering planner supplies is more questions, but these questions are a little different. The first question naturally is, do I actually use this? Is this an item that I functionally use on a regular basis? Or is the sticker book something that I used one sticker out of on a grocery list in 2008 and then put in a drawer and never looked at again? Stickers lose their adhesive over time, so it's entirely possible that a lot of your supplies aren't even useful anymore. Question number 2 is, am I holding onto this because it's too pretty to use? Not to get too morbid in a video that I wanted to stay light and amusing despite the subject matter, but if you die tomorrow, somebody's gonna throw away every roll of Simply Gilded washi tape that you own. So just use the tape. And question number 3 is, does this even match my current vibe? Maybe 5 years ago you were super into neon and rainbows, but now you're all about the minimalism. If you know it's something that you're never gonna use, pass it on to someone who will. Throw it up on Etsy or Marketplace or whatever, and try to sell it, or throw it away, or donate it. And here's a little mantra specifically for my planner peeps. It's not hoarding, it's a creative decision, until it is hoarding. The thought of letting go still feels overwhelming. Start small. Dedicate one afternoon to organizing your pens. Trust me when I tell you that nothing is more heart-wrenching than rediscovering your favorite gel pens and realizing they've dried out. Like maybe the limited edition Tool Christmas pens that you bought on eBay for 5 times the retail price, only to realize that those and half the rest of your stash doesn't even write anymore. But once you accept the loss, a dried out pen is the easiest thing to let go of. Unless you're me, and then you cry and you put the dead pens back in your pencil case like a lunatic. This is a big do as I say, not as I do moment for the Rebel family. And do we really need to get started on the planners themselves? If you've been carrying guilt over unused planners, please stop. Planners are tools, not testaments to past failures. Recycle them, repurpose them, or donate them to someone who can use them. Your future self and your shelf space will thank you in the long run. And since I've been talking about all the guilt, let's go ahead and unpack that now. Why do we feel so bad about letting things go? Well, for most of us, with most things, we've attached stories to things. That teapot isn't just a teapot. That's the teapot you bought on vacation with your bestie, and you guys were in the shop and you were laughing and joking about how funny it would be if you were old ladies who drank tea together. It's not just an object. It's a chapter in your imaginary autobiography. But here's the thing, you can keep the memory without keeping the teapot or whatever. Take a picture of it, write the story down, and then let it go. Say this with me now. Decluttering is not about perfection. We aren't doing this in hopes of turning our home into an Instagram-worthy profile grid. It's about making our space functional and fun again. And if that means keeping all 47 of your coffee mugs because they genuinely make them happy, great, do it. Or if it means getting rid of half your closet because you only wear the same 5 outfits every day, do that. As with everything we do here on Rebel with a Plan, it is about progress over perfection. You do not have to declutter your entire home in a single weekend. Start with one drawer, one shelf, or one corner of a room. Celebrate small wins, like throwing away that garlic press that nearly took off your fingertip, or say goodbye to that bucket of separated nail polish. Yes, even the OPI. Yes, even the limited edition Shrek collection. If you do not paint your nails, why are you keeping them? Once you've decluttered, it's important to stop the cycle of bringing more things into your home, especially things you don't need. Before you buy something, I have more questions. Do I actually need this? Will this solve a problem, or will it just create a new one? Am I buying this for who I am or who I wish I was? At the end of the day, decluttering isn't about what you're letting go of. It's about what you're making room for. More space, more clarity, and more peace of mind. So stop treating your home like a guilt museum. You deserve to live in a space for you, not your stuff. So grab some sorting bins, blast some music, and get to getting. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you found this video helpful, or at the very least slightly entertaining. Don't forget to smash all those YouTube buttons for me and leave a comment below and let me know the first thing you're ready to let go of. I hope it's guilt, but it could just be those Christmas pens. I love you so much. Have a great day. Bye. But here's the thing. Decluttering often comes Decluttering often comes with a heaping side of guilt. Hello. But what alleviates guilt? But what alleviates guilt better than a dog? Even if questions don't work,